success isn't just a goal anymore. It's turned into a lifestyle, a performance we're expected to keep up every day. And it shows up in ways most of us don't even notice. We stay up late finishing tasks that could wait until tomorrow, just so we don't feel behind. We buy upgrades, a new phone, new clothes, a shinier car, not because we need them, but because we don't want to look like we're falling behind. We say yes to plans, projects, and obligations, even when we're exhausted, because saying no feels like failure. And of course, we share it all online, every moment, every highlight, every win, because if no one sees it, did it even happen? That's the beautiful distraction. On the surface, all of this looks like progress. It feels like achievement. But deep down, it's often just a way to avoid silence, so that we don't have to ask ourselves the harder questions like, what if the life I've built looks successful, but doesn't actually feel like mine? The more we chase success, the more it becomes part of who we think we are. You hear it in how we introduce ourselves. I'm in tech. I run my own business. I'm a straight-A student. These aren't expressions of identity. They're just a summary of what we do. And when the doing slows down, when there's no applause, no metrics, no validation, our sense of worth feels like it disappears too. Oliver Burkeman reminds us in 4,000 Weeks that our time is so limited, it's almost laughable. Just 4,000 weeks if you live to 80. Yet instead of spending those weeks on what matters, we fill them with motion, mistaking activity for identity. Exhaustion has become a badge of honor. But being tired all the time isn't proof that you're important. It's often proof that you're afraid to stop. We tell ourselves we're chasing goals, but often we're just running from the feeling of falling behind. Think about it. You pay off a debt, and instead of feeling lighter, you immediately stress about the next bill coming due. You finally get that raise, and within days, you're already anxious about the next one. You hit a milestone, and the first thought is, was that even big enough? McKeown, in Essentialism, calls this the trap of more. We pile on obligations, opportunities, and goals until our lives feel cluttered, then wonder why we feel so stretched thin. His advice is deceptively simple. Less, but better. Focus on the few things that truly matter, and let the rest go. But letting go is hard, because it forces us to face the empty space. And that's where the addiction lives. Not in the goals themselves, but in the constant need for the next one. Underneath the endless motion is a fear we rarely admit. The fear of stillness. Stillness is dangerous because it gives space for the real questions to echo louder. Am I respected if I'm not achieving? Am I secure if I stop working so hard? Do I even like the person I have become? Odell, in How to Do Nothing, says that in a world fighting for our attention, doing nothing isn't laziness, it's rebellion. To pause, to disconnect, to sit in silence, these are acts of reclaiming your own life. But most of us resist that. Instead, we fill every gap. We take on extra projects we don't care about. We answer emails that could wait. We rearrange our schedules just to look busy. And we say yes to everything, just so we don't feel invisible. From the outside, it looks impressive. Driven, hardworking, motivated. But inside, you're restless, weary, sometimes unsure what you're even chasing anymore. And maybe the hardest truth is that, somewhere along the way, it stopped being about becoming yourself and started being about proving yourself. So what if success didn't have to mean more? What if success was the courage to say no, Or the freedom to spend time with people who don't care about your status? What if it was having a Saturday where nothing gets done and feeling no guilt about it? McKeown would call this essentialism, focusing on what really matters. Burkeman would remind us that, with only 4,000 weeks, neglecting the right things is the only real power we have. And Odell would say that giving your attention back to what's real, to nature, to people, to the present moment, might be the most radical form of success in a noisy world. Maybe success isn't about volume or visibility. Maybe it's about peace. Maybe it's about presence. Or maybe it's about being okay with yourself without earning it. Here's the part no one tells you. You don't need to burn everything down. You don't need to quit your job or move to the mountains. You just need to pause long enough to listen. Ask yourself, is this pace truly mine? Or did I borrow it from someone else's dream? Because sometimes, success is just a costume we wear to feel safe, admired, in control. But real freedom? It isn't louder. It isn't faster. It's quieter. It's the kind of peace that doesn't need applause because it finally stopped performing. So if you're tired, not the kind of tired that a nap fixes, but the kind that settles deep in your bones, you're not broken. You're just ready to be honest. And that honesty, that might be the beginning of your real success.